So now I want to talk about the fig tree and its importance because it's very important to us as people. Um, how do I want to start this? For one, I want to talk about how Adam and Eve were basically eating from the fig tree. The fig itself represents immortality, and to eat from that tree and to eat from that tree or to eat that fruit, one can obtain immortality. And eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is eating from yourself. But if you preserve that fruit, which the fig tree would be the tree that is supposed to be growing inside of you, the tree of immortality, that we have inside of us, and when they ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, the leaves began to fall, meaning that the tree began to lose its life, and in losing its life, the leaves started to fall. That's why Pisces starts at the feet, and it is to believe because for one, they didn't believe in themselves. They didn't believe in the greatness that they were. So their leaves started to fall, and what they believed basically became down into the physical, and they began to focus on the physical and not focusing on the spiritual, and not allowing that to grow. And instead, they chose to eat from it and to cause it to die and to not appreciate the tree that was growing inside of them, and not to nurture it and to feed it what it's supposed to eat, like which is supposed to be the oxygen that you breathe, the water that you water it with, and the light that you give it, and also allowing the fruit to be what it was. Like the fruit is, it's in this sense it will be somewhat metaphorical, because all the things that you can produce is pretty much endless and limitless. If especially if you have a tree that's growing inside of you that basically is indicates that you are immortal, and you can do things beyond what a mortal man can do. But also, I want to talk about the symbology, or what the Jesus on the cross symbolizes, which is basically him. It's like they say that he died for our sins, but he ascended because he rose up in his level of consciousness, and he was able to get out of this world, this world of belief, this world of immorality, and he ascended, and him on the cross represents him getting that immortality, him raising up into that immortality and going into the spiritual realm, like, and not being in this world of sin. So he ascended, and he got that immortality, and left the world of immorality, which is a land of, or a world of, people not following laws, people not doing the right things, people not accepting that God is oneness, God is connection, God is love. People who don't accept that, people who don't accept that God isn't judgment, God is justice, God is balance, God is all these things. But people who don't accept that are comfortable in this world and look to others to, I want to say, save them or justify their wrongs, but they don't take accountability for their wrongs. But when you take accountability for your wrongs and your actions, and you actually put in the work to really do what's necessary for you to get out of thinking of immorality and get into thinking of immortality to raise your consciousness up. That's what Christ consciousness really is. Like it's not about just like something that people say. It's like actually raising your level of thought up to a different level, and to think on a different level, not just to hear somebody or witness somebody doing it for you. You're supposed to do it for yourself, because it's all about your relationship with God and your relationship with the divine and the spiritual world, because nobody else can do that for you. You have to do that for yourself. So that's what it symbolized when he did that. He was actually getting that immortality, and he was raising out of the world for immorality. So you are your own personal Christ. So you have to understand that you have to rise out of immorality and to rise into immortality. And the sacrifice that you make is to, like, basically get out of the flesh, get out of the belief that the flesh needs to have all these things that are unnecessary for your good, your benefit, your like your health, like everything that would add to your life, rather than taking away from your life. And it's like putting a different piece to the puzzle. Like, you have to raise up and out of like your lower half, like basically out of the physical. Basically, what I've been talking about with raising out of the like the masculine side of things, like raising out of your like ego, raising out of your sacral chakra, raising out of your root, and to rise up into like your heart, where you change your level of awareness, and you're aware of what you're taking in and what's coming out, and basically the energy that you put into different things. And then you raise up into the spiritual world when you get into your like your breathing, and the air that you breathe out, and the thoughts that you put out, the way that you express things, and you accept truth here. You accept truth and you express truth here, and then you start to get the light and understand that the light is also feeding you, as well as the spirit, the air that's around you. But then once you raise your light up, people start to see that you have light inside of you, and then you start to produce fruit. And this is where you get like the fruit of life, the flower of life, and the tree of life, because the tree of life is basically your brain, and that's where you get the thousand petal flower from, or I think it's a lotus that grows out of your head. That's the fruit that you see. That's the tree that you see, the tree of life that you see. And that's basically like the hair on your head, but it's even more than that. It's almost like your aura. I want to say it is your aura, and you may even see like the tree of life or the seed of life. If you like meditate, you can actually see that, and you'll be able to understand it a little bit more, and you'll understand that you actually are more than you know. And in knowing that, you can do more. You can feel more connected. You can feel the connection with God. You can understand what the connection with God is, and you understand that it's way more than a physical thing. And you understand that the spiritual world is a very real thing. It's a very powerful thing. It's a very vast thing. It's not limited to any one religion. It's all religion. It's all language. It's all vibration. It's all sound, and it exists everywhere. And it's like it's visible and it's invisible. But like, just like your brain, like you probably have never seen your brain, but you know that it exists. Like, it's inside of you, and it connects to everything that's inside of you. But also it makes connections with things that you see on the outside world. Like, it's like, as within, so without. And it's so much with like the figs. Like, figs are very interesting, because the fruit itself, if you've ever tasted it, I personally have never really tasted a fig that tastes like the one before. So which means, like, figs are basically limitless in terms of taste. And every fig that I've tasted, not only does it have a great taste, it has not a different taste. It has a great taste, and it's so refreshing to just bite into one because you don't know what to expect, but you know that it's going to be something good because it's something that you've had before, or it's something that you've experienced or aware of, but you don't know exactly what you'll get because it has a different flavor each time that you each time you taste it, especially the dry figs. I wouldn't necessarily say that about regular figs, but dry figs especially. Regular figs, I don't know so much about because I don't really eat regular figs as much as I do dried figs. But I will say I love regular figs as well, but I just eat the dry ones more. But yeah, that's what the fig represents and symbolizes. It symbolizes immortality. And I think that's all I want to say about the figs. Oh, I said that the fig fell down to their 11:11. It fell down to their root chakra because that's where they were focused at, their roots. And that would be like the tree falling on the ground. So since I said Pisces because of be leaf, because you became leaf, you be leaf, meaning that you will be that leaf because you don't believe that you're a tree. You don't see yourself as whole, you see yourself as the leaf. So in seeing yourself as a leaf is why they covered up their private areas, because they became private areas with the leaf, because they didn't see themselves as the tree. They saw themselves as the I want to say the private areas, which is with the leaf covered up. So they're seeing themselves as the leaf. But that's what the leaf will be doing. Will be falling to the ground. It'll be falling to the root because it wasn't twelfth up. It wasn't on the top of the tree, on the top of their crown chakra. So like it's like their crown falling to the ground, like their sense of being like righteous, being like kings and queens, fell to their root, and it didn't they didn't acknowledge or they didn't recognize themselves as kings and queens anymore. They saw themselves as leaves, as something of the earth, as something that was meant to be here and to stay here and to wither for however long it takes for the tree to do that. And it never really and like trees can live for a long period of time. Just like we can live for a long period of time, especially in good health. We can live for a long period of time, but we have to have knowledge of self. We have to gain knowledge of self. Gaining knowledge of self allows us to gain a lot more than just just good health, because it is about good health, but it's about way more than that. Like you open yourself up to way more when you do take care of yourself and you do gain knowledge of self. But knowledge of self is about way more than just good health. Like you can be vegetarian, you can be vegan, you can be fruitarian, you can be all these things, but if you don't have knowledge of self, if you still think it's just about an external thing, then you're not progressing as far as your level of consciousness. You gotta be conscious of what you are, who you are, and what you're doing. Because once you become conscious of all these things, you begin to look at the world differently. You begin to look at yourself differently. And that's what's most important, to look at yourself differently. You don't want to see yourself as being of the world in the same way that you were 5 years ago. You want to see yourself progressing, and in seeing yourself progressing, you want to be able to see yourself like doing better than you were before, and not in the sense of comparison, just in the sense of progression, evolving, and growth, because growth is important at the same time. Like it's not about comparison, but it's not about staying still either, because a tree doesn't stay still. A tree even blows in the wind. A tree grows when the sun comes out and when it's watered. Like you have to really see yourself as a tree, and that's what I was you have to really see yourself as like that fig tree. That fig tree grows things that are immortal. And you have to see yourself as being immortal and seeing yourself as growing immortal and gaining knowledge of yourself and then gaining knowledge of yourself and knowing that you have this tree growing inside of you. You have to be the one that's taking care of it, be the one that's giving it love, be the one that's giving it nourishment, and you have to do that. You have to do that properly. You have to be steady. You have to be consistent with it. Like, it's something that I'm even working on. As I said in videos before, I'm not perfect. It's something that I'm working on, and I'm really trying to make sure that I do better at each and every day. Like, even with like just having gratitude for the little things that happen to me in my life, just appreciating those and making sure I water those with the fact that I am appreciating those each and every day helps my quality of life and the relationships that I have with people. This is just like you taking in oxygen and you breathing out carbon dioxide. Like, you taking in like positive energy, and you sending that positive energy back out to other people. That's just like you and you being the tree for other people. Like, you helping them cleanse certain things about themselves or that they may need cleansing, and they may do the same thing for you. So you have to make sure that you are that tree, and you have to make sure you do give them fruit, but don't give them your body. Give them the fruit of you, like the fruit that you have to offer. Give them that, and make sure that they taste that rather than wanting to like do things with you that require you to take away from your life force. Your life force is something that you should keep, and you should grow, and you should nourish and allow to flourish outside of you. But don't let anybody take that from you, because that's the most important thing that you have in this world. And this is very important for you to understand that. But I think that's pretty much it about the fig tree. I think I wanted to say something else, but if I remember it, I may make another video about it. But I think I said pretty much everything. But with that being said, I love you, and I hope that you have a great day.